Alright, so it's been a while since I even did anything like this. I have to get back used to cameras again. Got a new power brick that might help me at least see what power things are using. I got a GRiD model 2260. And I have a second camera over here just in case I need another angle because sometimes hands happen. So, this is effectively the first two-in-one tablet computer. Back in, I think it said it was like December 1991. Or 1992. Okay. You can do the Wikipedia search. Really find that interesting. But, I found this quite interesting because it does have a lot of technical information as to what pins and things. I probably should scan this into like an archive.org so that people can actually see even an actual memory map, which is actually necessary because this device treats EMS very differently than a lot of other systems. You're only allowed to have either the upper memory block or EMS, not both. The system runs, well, it's now running DOS 6.22, but what it would normally run is DOS 5.0, the version made by GRiD, the manufacturer, and Windows 3.1. Windows 3.1 would be the version is Windows for pen computing, which is in some ways a little... let me double check to see if this is actually coming up anywhere there on the screen. I need to see. Okay. Good. Looks like output is at 45 watts. It's not really that high on I might have to put this further up here. See if I can manage. It's a VGA monochrome screen. I never knew there was actually a monochrome VGA because I would have figured that they would have used color for the most part. But I guess back in the day, I've seen computers that were essentially grayscale screens, which is basically what this is. And it would it was more modern than you'd think that in monochrome, but it's probably usually for just practicality purposes that not having to run a full color screen, which could also possibly create a difficulty for like having to process such while you're running mobile or whatever. Probably some power saving feature, I guess, essentially is what I'm trying to say. And or maybe a cost-saving feature of the screen itself. Basically, like this sort of thing was really expensive, so I'm not entirely certain if it would be really a cost-saving feature. Truthfully, let me make sure this doesn't get. I had the pen cap on here was a little off because there was a spring on the inside that was trying to blow the whole battery compartment out. This is the pen that it runs. This is a 386/25 megahertz. As you can see, I don't think Windows really likes the pen that much. You kind of have to learn to go in at a specific angle. If you try to do it like straight on, it kind of registers your pen being close enough as a click. Like here, like I'm trying to click, but it's not clicking because it's like thinking that I've been clicking. Like it's a little. There we go. Paintbrush. Also, since it's a 386, don't expect it to be super responsive to everything. can run in 25 megahertz or 12.5 megahertz mode. Right now, it's operating off of 17 watts of power, hilariously, too. Like, that's even less. Must have been doing a battery charge cycle earlier. There's a battery in here, and the power supply actually has to go through the battery, so there's no way to not have it go through the battery. But, and the battery seems to work for a few minutes. It's not super dead like most battery systems would be. Let's see if this one comes off on the other camera better. It's not that great. Viewing angle is kind of hit or miss. It's easier probably just to see it straight on. You can see it seems like it's fairly responsive when you're using a program. The actual Windows itself seems to be less responsive. You don't know what the heck is wrong sometimes. Like, my pen is all the way up here. Like, why are you registering a click? Click. I'm trying to exit the program. Okay, no. No, I didn't mean to do that. I put that on there just to see what was going. Like, it seems like if I go into programs like this, I can operate really well. Like, oh boy, flare. Like, this is no issue. Like, I can keep operating like this almost all day. But second you introduce trying to interact with actual Windows, I managed to actually kind of get the exit Windows here. The other thing is that DOS somewhat doesn't like having a pen for a mouse, essentially. I think there is actually a command the command that actually implement that is actually called pen mouse. Yep. I don't have it automatically in the auto exec because it's you can just enable it whenever you need to. It has a serial port on the back if you wanted to try to use a serial mouse. I'm not sure if a serial mouse would work right now because it seems like the serial port is having some data issues, which means that I'm going to have to open this up, partly because there's a battery in there, and that battery's probably, dead. There's actually two batteries. There'd be the clock battery, which I'm going to assume is a Dallas. I looked all around, I saw some people talking about, hey, I had to take the battery out of the system, we're going to replace it with whatever. And I was like, okay. What kind of battery? What kind of battery's in there? It's always a little frustrating. Like, it doesn't even mention it in here. It basically says if you have an issue with the battery dying that you need to take it to a GRiD technician, basically. I'm pretty sure the GRiD technicians are not going to have the slightest clue what the heck you're talking about right now. They also have an option of recharging the battery pack without the computer. That's why the power ports, whatever. This is a very interesting manual. Like I said, I'll have to see if there's a way for me to easily scan in the whole manual, because if you do get one of these devices and you don't have the manual, you're probably missing out on a lot, and you're going like, what the heck's going on here? Sometimes, because there's definitely I really hope this is getting a good angle. Hold on. Okay, let me see. I might actually have to turn the lights off to operate properly, or at least one of the lights. Which light's being the pain in the butt? The one back here. That help? That helps a lot. Ooh. Okay. Alright. Oh. So, you can do like like the normal stuff that you would normally do. This has a 120 megabyte hard drive. It works. I don't know how that happened. I've been trying to use, because it has a PC card slot on this side, I've been trying to use some ATA cards. Seems to indicate in the manual, again, whoop, that it supports storage devices through PC card slot. And it actually had models that were actually PC card storage on the other side, where it would have 2 slots of PC card storage, and you could use up to 20 megabytes of SanDisk, which is where SanDisk used to be, flash cards. I actually got one of those SanDisk flash cards just so I could try to test it on this side, because I figured if it's supposed to work, like, what's the problem? Doesn't seem like it wants to recognize any PC cards, so I also may have to open up for that reason as well. Also on the side here there is a broken hinge, partly because I think the latch on the side here, there is a switch that's supposed to be latching. I'm not sure if it's really doing that, and it's possible that it got stuck and somebody just had to break it so that they could actually fold it up, because unfortunately if it got stuck in this position, you wouldn't be able to put it back in your bag. Here. That's the idea, is you just fold it up and then you get back in. Of course, there's the contrast, the brightness. This is so far the best settings I've been able to get on contrast and brightness. You can see if the video's detailed enough, you can probably see certain lines. That's due to looks like an interference on the video signal. Yay. Or possibly just the way the screen's controlled. It may not be quite as young as it used to be, and might be run into the problem of there's no control on the side. It's like I can't one-hand this easily. I'm probably going to be using just the POV version mostly. You can see there's a lot of, I mean, it's just like an old LCD screen, really. It might be that the LCD screen may have also helped with ghosting a little bit. Although clearly you can see that there's a lot of motion blur whenever things get adjusted. I probably should go for some of these bullets. Thanks. It only has a PC speaker, and that's kind of expected with this kind of era of laptop. PC speaker is about all you could expect. Sound blasters didn't really make their way into laptops until like the Pentium era. So if you wanted to use a sound card with this, you also need to find a PC card. If you need to find a PC card, then you need to make sure the PC card actually works. We haven't run into this problem. Like, if I can't actually use the PC cards for anything, it's a problem. Just doing a quick demonstration, and I'm probably dead now because 16% health. Somebody. If you hear the fan, that's the power supply. Great power generator. Was on sale on the 22nd for about $224. Power generators are not cheap, unfortunately. Really wish they were a little more cheaper than that. It's got have huge lithium battery in there. I suspect that's most of the cost, really. There's probably some circuitry involved, but yeah. Where did that guy come from? Did I just, like, ignore a guy just, like, wandering around behind me? Yeah. Okay. That's probably about enough. Already got save game past this point, I think, too, so I don't need to save. The // thing always gets me. There's no place for a joystick. It's really just you have a slot for a parallel printer or a floppy disk, not both. You have output for a serial port and output for a VGA monitor. I also have another issue where the VGA output seems to be not outputting any red whatsoever. So when I run this, I'd see blue, I would see green, no red. Clearly, it looks like on here at least that you can see where red would be, and there's actually thing. But, and I'm not sure if you even really want to worry about trying to play this game with this 386 25 megahertz, given the frame rates. Let me see how well it's coming out on here. Jeez. I assure you, I'm recording this at 60 frames per second. This is the actual frame rate. Yeah. I'm gonna do a new game. Totally do a new game. I probably should just put the shareware on here because it would actually save some hard drive space too, and this thing doesn't need the hard drive space. It's only got about 15 or so megabytes free. Probably closer to 10 now. I think I did install something or other since then. I might want to actually run Check-It 3.0 on this as well. I tried doing a hardware info, the version that's supposed to be able to be run on retro stuff. It completely hangs the system. It's possible that the BIOS might even have some issues where it's not identifying because some of the utilities are also not working on this that are supposed to work on this to allow you to adjust settings and diagnostic data. When the diagnostic tells you this is not a 2260 when clearly it is, we have a problem. Like, you can do pen tracking and all that jazz, and that's not a big issue, but when you try to do the diagnostic, and the diagnostic's like, nope, this isn't actually a computer, or the computer that it really needs to be to have diagnostics. Let's go to QBasic real quick, just so you can see the pen works. Open. Oh, come on. You usually work a little better than that. We're not supposed to be... That's funny, it's just running in Doom. There's no... Come on. DOS. It's probably in freaking DOS. Oh yeah, that's right. It's Reader Rabbit 2 that I installed. Get that gorilla out here. Loading parsing. Gorilla Bass. I suspect this camera over here is going to be not terribly useful for me, but did it load? Oh no, yeah, it did load. It's just that we're all the way over here for some reason. Now stop. There we go. Needs to be all the way on the left. Okay. I vaguely remember this actually working a little better in DOS. whatever. The other thing is that without the ability to save settings, the way it operates normally is it actually checks the hard drive first and then the floppy drive. So you can't actually do a boot disk until you actually boot into the system and then adjust it so that it goes to floppy. Not that I really need it, I don't think. I'm not going to install like Windows 95 or anything on this. I installed Windows 6.22 just to make sure that wasn't causing any issues with compatibility with the PC card. Nope. Honestly, it didn't adjust anything. It did help me put a config.sys together with menu. And why is this keep trying to think I'm dragging it everywhere? Honestly. Let's go to DOS shell. I think DOS shell worked better. This is the version 5 version. Oh, and I put it on like high res mode. Lovely. I got some Microsoft Office. What that's supposed to be, I can't remember. Inkware is supposed to help with like handwriting recognition, so that maybe you don't need an actual keyboard. Doesn't work in practice, at least as far as I feel like. So this is the stuff that's supposed to work with this system, and pad keyboard is hilarious because it gives you a keyboard for DOS. Excuse me while I use my QWERTY pen cat keyboard. GD / enter. I wonder how it would work with one of the DOS programs. Well, it kind of does let you seems like it lets you. Yeah, I'll just hit escape to clear. It won't let me use the pen mouse though. I think it might deactivate the pen mouse. Oh, and it even has like all the shortcut things, like low speed, so it can run at 12.5 megahertz. And color really means just like it's going to revert different kinds of colors to different versions of gray, and so on. See, this is actually usable at least. Just you lose like most of your screen. I could actually. Oh, I can't even do it that way. I have to hit Alt, go down. Oh, maybe you have to hit F. No, Alt. Okay, I have to hit Alt twice. Okay, there might be some calibration issue here. So I need to go to the left. Darn it. Why is it not going to the left? Okay. Save it now. Can I say no? Okay. It's reacting again. I don't understand. I was running with this for a while and it was fine. And now it's going like, I found an S. Why did you find an S? Why did you find an X? It might be having some issues. Like, look at all these lines that's showing up. That's not a Z. Okay, well, I'm going bananas. Yeah, I probably do need to open this up. There might be some leaking capacitors or batteries. Could be contributing. Another one of the weak links is the fact that this entire like screen that's currently running off of one hinge operates off of essentially a ribbon cable that runs down here, right behind it. This might be weak as well. This has got to have it bends every time you pull up and put down the monitor. And all it takes is deteriorating too far for something to get bananas. Okay, let me see if we can do this now. That's not an S. Come on. What are... Okay, I may actually have to run, part of me wonders if maybe it's having some issues because it's trying to use the thing for two different things. So, just real quick, config only uses the pen. So, if your pen has issues, you might not be able to config. Oh, I found that a little weird. Like, has cursor, which probably means, yeah, whatever. Let me see if we can do pad keyboard again to get it to stop. Hover keyboard is already present. Can I kill the pad keyboard? Like, what the heck? There's probably something in the manual that would tell me. I think maybe pen draw is what I'm looking for. Draw here to test pen accuracy. This seems fine. Like, look at this. This looks perfect. But why is it causing so many issues? Like, I guess because it's registering like the. But the thing is, I'm not. See, how did that happen? I wouldn't. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this isn't. This is not usable right now. I don't know what the heck it is. I might even have to. I might even be better off just restarting the system at this point. Or actually, no, there's a function keypad. Oh wait, that's probably for the number pad on the keyboard. Yeah, I don't see. There's a reverse video if you wanted to see what this looks like backwards. Yeah, something seems to be up because this doesn't feel right. Number lock, yeah. Yeah. I'll go grab I'll go grab syscheck 3.0 and see if I can get anything off of that as well, because it would be nice to actually know a little bit more information about what we got on here. But yeah, I think restarting the system is probably what I'm gonna have to do. This is not working. I feel like this is tilted. I don't understand why it feels so tilted. It doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, whatever. Alright, Control-Alt-Delete because I can't seem to figure out a good way of stopping that. And I'm starting to run out of space. So. Alright, I finally got through this. A lot of, like, WinWorld will check it as a bit of a floppy disk images. Don't seem to work very well, or don't actually work. I'm not entirely certain how to even mess with that because I don't have a computer that runs an operating system that will allow me to use any of the floppy disk image writer programs, it seems like. Whatever. We got through. This is just a version I found on another website. Maybe I'll copy it off to archive.org, but you can do your Google foo and you probably can find it yourself anyway. Just don't get the German version. Archive.org currently has a German version on there. Okay. Phoenix BIOS. Well, yeah, I guess I kind of expected that. Look for Math Coprocessor 803387. Oh, it's actually present! I was wondering that. The manual actually specifies that sometimes you can have a Math Coprocessor with the unit depending on your configuration. If it wasn't there, when I was going to open it up, I wanted to see if I needed to, if there was some way for me to locate a chip, because that actually has a chip amount number on here. I think it's like the SX3. This is I don't have it specifically here, but like it's the it would be the CX387 basically, surface mount chip. Look for mouse not present. I don't care if it's this thing that's not present. I don't care. So. DOS version 6.22, it's a 386, good. Math Coprocessor 387, good. That means that actually the retro Rampage might even be able to work, because it's they said that they think it would work on a 386, but you want to have a Math Coprocessor. We got it. It's nice to actually see some information on this darn thing. See, 8 megabytes memory. This has this had option of being 2, 6, or maybe no, it's 2, 4, or 8 megabytes, because the board has 2 megabytes soldered on board, and there's a expansion card which is just kind of just a circuit board where you could stick RAM chips on, and you could have a card that just has like 2 chips on the back, or a row of chips on the back, and that would be just the 2 megabyte, or maybe I'm trying to remember. So I saw a picture of the 2 megabyte version, and it was just basically an incomplete 6 megabyte card, essentially. So if you add 2 plus 2 is 4, so you could have a 2 megabyte, or 4 megabyte, or an 8 megabyte. Here you got 8 megabytes. Great. Actually, is pretty, like, feels like this is the upper end, actually, hilariously. Kind of surprised with that, but you know, if you were buying one of these, I'd imagine you'd actually kind of want to have something that's upper end. This will actually do memory mapping for you too? Jeez. Oh, good gravy. Oh, that's cool. This is the first time I actually use this program. I've seen people use it before, but usually for like much older. Clearly the clock battery's out, and I don't feel like changing the time, so primary display EGA, PGA, VGA, etc. Lots of stuff. Test. Sure, let's just test everything. Run memory test, yes. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Let's see if, oh yeah, I did take the floppy out. It's possible that it may, need to, yeah. Math Coprocessor. Yeah! Okay, let's try that. Let's do test everything again. Yes. Passed. Pseudo random. Like the way this whole thing works is that sometimes it has issues if you have an EMS manager. I'm not sure how this works, but it seems like it's saying extended memory is like... So this is always the problem, like expanded versus extended. They all have E and they all have an X. So one of them is EMS, X, the other one's XMS. And we're going to sit here and watch the thing. I'm probably going to fast forward this a little bit, but you do see it's like 1 to 16 megs. And it's only gone about halfway, so that's about 7 megs probably, or whatever. Well, it looks like it's no issue with RAM, so we're good with that at least. Cool. Dink. Passed. Controller. Looks good. I might even have to put the floppy back in. But I tried actually formatting these floppies as 360 kilobytes because apparently this was originally on 360 kilobyte discs. Clearly, I don't have a 300 because I don't have a 5.25 page floppy disk for this, so it's not really functioning real well for 3060. It just caused too many problems. I was like, okay, yeah, this doesn't work. It pretends that it works, but it doesn't actually work because everything's just scrambled and yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stop here and then continue on when this actually gets exciting again. Okay, we're going floppy. Yeah, this is not connected on an actual, like, normal parallel port. It's, like a mini parallel port, just weird connector. Kind of feels like, what I saw on, like, a ThinkPad. Might not be the exact same thing, because I think that was closer to, like, edge connectors, but still. Cool. Waiting. Okay. Prepare time. Cool. I guess the clock's okay. It just no. No loop back. I'm sorry. Test the data register. Okay. Do. Okay. It looks like it operated that part of it. This I don't... There's no Wacom to skip this. I mean, there's no actual COM2, but... No, we don't have a loopback connector. No. Run printer test? No. Cool. That worked. Doesn't look like there's any issues. Yes. Doesn't look like any problems. It says compare this, but I mean I could generally tell like this is the normal pipe characters and everything. Oh, sorry. Woo! Bright means bold in this particular case. Looks good. No, we got this this kind of keyboard. F11 and F12 is a little bit of the control on this side doesn't exist. Like I said before. Yeah, I'm still a little confused about this, but, I mean... Determine math speed. 387! It actually has a math processor! This is what, again, this is what I was trying to determine at some point, and that was why I was getting hardware info, because it's just like, the manual just says that it's possible. Okay. There's no way for me to check on the outside if it's there. Cool. Dry stones, wet stones. Cool. I don't really think I want to mess around with trying to... locate RAM chips? No. See. Color is currently turned off. Color is currently turned off. So yeah, you can actually okay. So this is pretty decent. Oh, you know what? COM2 I think is might actually technically be the screen. That's right. Whatever. Might as well get some Reader Rabbit in here. I'll just demonstrate the color. You keep pressing the color, it'll throw different kinds of shades of gray. So it doesn't seem to adjust the VGA output at all. That's why I said like it's really weird to see like a red missing off the VGA output. Okay, let's go on. Oh, that's right. There's like a bajillion people in here already. Like I didn't bother putting anybody in. So what is this? It's a ball plane. Nope. It's a fly plane. It flies! Nope. It's an airplane. Fly ball. You wish. Da, da, da. I guess you're supposed to adjust this so that people go into alphabetical order? Cool. I did it wrong, but you know, cool. Nope. So, it's like the last person you... Okay. Yeah, this was pre-owned. Pre-loved. Just another 4, like, games you can play with Reader Rabbit with your varying toddler or so that you're trying to actually learn how to read. This is more, it feels like more like a... Oh, I got it wrong. Like, if they don't want you to let you go back or make any adjustments, you have to kind of just go like, well, nope, you did this wrong. Fine, I did it wrong. Well, it looks like you kind of get, it keeps you, what was right, I guess, but, eh. Oh, it might be only for level 1. Ugh. Given the way these things work sometimes. We got a sound and challenge levels. Oh, okay. Oh. That's right, I had some issues with the floppy drive and I ended up with a lot of bad files. Fortunately, I backed up the floppy, so I just ended up finding the backup floppy and just copying it over, but I forgot to delete all the check files, so delete check. Oomph. Okay. Like, I think this is kind of made to be almost like a boot floppy, too. But... Oh, that's right. It's in the manual that actually tells me how to adjust it to monochrome or whatever. Hold on a second. Oh, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, like it says, minimum requirements, basically anything. Like, it requires you have a PCXT PS2 and compatible with at least 512 kilobytes of memory or a 1080 with 640 kilobytes. Yeah, cool. A floppy drive, basically, because it comes with there's the 3.5. So it comes with 2 5.25 inch floppies and one 3.5 inch floppy. Given that the I think the 5.25 inch floppies might be a 720K formatted. Definitely not 1.2 megs though. Color monitor. It actually says color monitor is required. Oh, this isn't color. Okay, well I thought maybe there might have been an actual monochrome mode. 8 megahertz minimum clock speed or faster recommended. It's not even required, just kind of recommended because, you know, and it does say it's 2 5.25 inch floppy disks. Cool. But yeah, I'm gonna have to open this up, and I'm dreading it because I have, like, I just watched someone completely break their laptop just simply because they were trying to replace the clock battery, and I kind of feel like that might end up happening at some point. The problem is if I don't go in there, if the battery leaks out everywhere, it's gonna die eventually anyway. That's the problem. Like, you kind of have to do it. You might get more time out of it, possibly, if you don't do anything, but you might get more time in the long term, really. Okay, so here it is. This is one of those, you can actually put in RR2-C for CGA, RR2-E for EGA, RR2-M for MGCA. That sounds like monochrome to me. What the heck? What's that? MGCA. Well, CA technically is supposed to be a color adapter then. And RR2-V for VGA. Instead of just typing in RR2. It would be nice if there was actually a text file on here, but maybe they didn't have enough space. What is MGCA? Honestly, that sounds weird. That almost sounds like monochrome graphics color adapter. Like, oh, what does actually MGCA can't stand for? Video. Multicolor graphics array. Boop. Okay, so it's like it's a really old version of kind of just color. I thought CGA was kind of oh well, okay. It's the one between CGA and VGA is MCGA, which I thought was EGA, but I don't know. No, EGA was before CGA. This is all confusing. Or no, AGA was after. No, okay. This is confusing. Okay, so like it looked like maybe they tried to like go out and so what's the most? So CGA is like the most primitive. So if I did RR2-C. looks a lot more primitive. It actually kind of looks... It's okay. Honestly, this is the way it looked before the grayscale is probably better. This is definitely more defined and sharp, though. But I feel like you lose a lot of details. Yeah, this just looks weird. Let me see if I can adjust the color on this. Yeah, this is weird. Definitely. Oh, well. Okay, that's enough of that nonsense. I just thought I'd do some more fun testings and stuff. Definitely operate normal stuff on here. Just that, like I said before, the problem with a lot of these things, especially with the laptops, is that they aren't always usually made to open up properly. And if they have one of those Texas, or I mean Dallas, the Dallas clock chips, and it just, instead of a battery, it just is terrible. Look, Rat Pat. Found the game theory.